Welcome to the NC Spin After Spin. Additional comments from our panelists just available on our website. John Hood, we had a packed show last week. What do you wish you'd had a chance to say but you didn't?
Tom, we had some discussion about distance learning and what are very evidently contradictions in what politicians have said before and after COVID-19 about distance learning. I want to add a little bit more to that, if I could. The question is not whether distance learning is good or bad, and oftentimes people describe it that way. Republicans used to champion distance learning when charter schools were expanding those offerings and then criticize the district schools. Democrats used to criticize distance learning as being inadequate, and now are saying it's acceptable. That the truth is there is no answer here, that yes or no, because different kids have different needs. I think about my own kids. One of my sons has taken classes both in high school and in college online, and it was a complete disaster for him. He would never do it again. He does not learn well in that environment. My stepdaughter, on the other hand, a year before COVID hit, had already moved to a hybrid model school where she was at home 3 days a week and at school 2 days a week, and it's perfect for her. She's thriving. So the real issue is not distance learning pro or con, it's who gets to make the decision. If you were to block parents from using distance learning, even if they want to, that would be objectionable because they know best for their children. And if you tell parents they have to use distance learning, they can't send their kids to school, which is what has happened in large swaths of North Carolina, that is also an unconscionable act. Parents know best. They should choose whether distance learning fits best for their children, and that's not the situation we're in, where we're now making these grandiose statements about all the kids do this or all the kids don't do that. That's a mistake. That's backward thinking about education, and I do think one of the positive effects of COVID-19, we talked about NCAE being the primary culprit in shutting down school districts, which is, of course, absolutely factually accurate, but they've made a horrible decision, because in the long run, this is going to weaken people's faith in that institution. It's going to weaken people's attachment to district schools who make these decisions precipitously, because parents are now coming up with alternatives. They're essentially creating their own schools. They're creating pods. They've gotten clearance from the Cooper administration that it will not violate daycare regulations to set up what amounts to new schools in family homes run by non-relatives. That is not, it's not all that will stick, but some of it will, and this will be, in my view, a permanent change in how North Carolina parents interact with education.
Interesting comments. Well, thanks for watching the After Spin. We'll have more video all during the week on ncspin.com.